Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to do a quick get ready with me chit chat sort of video because I know that I have been gone for a while and I kind of just wanted to explain myself a little bit and just kind of get ready. I'm gonna film another video right after this, so right now this is just gonna be like super casual talking, like my hair is still wet, I didn't put my contacts in, just casual get ready with me. But I wanted to kind of touch on where I've been and all that because I'd never wanted to be one of those YouTubers who just like disappeared for a month and then came back like I didn't have some sort of responsibility to you guys and it didn't matter that I was gone that long. So I'm going to kind of just jump in and get ready, and I'm going to start with my Painterly paint pot. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do today. I don't really have plans. I kind of want to go see Hidden Figures tonight, but I have quite a few hours to get ready and film and stuff before that. So we'll see. I feel like every time I watch one of these videos that it's like a YouTuber who has been gone forever, they kind of all have to say the same thing, and I think that mine is going to be the same way. But I feel like in saying that from what I've gathered, or maybe it's just the people that I watch that I gravitate towards, but from what I've gathered in my time here on YouTube is that I feel like a lot of people start a YouTube channel because they have anxiety or depression, and it's a way to kind of cope because maybe they aren't great at making friends in real life, or they move to a new place and they're feeling really lonely or whatever, and putting themselves out there on camera where they can edit it and all that is much easier than trying to like deal with the real world all the time, which has its ups and downs. But I feel like for that reason I think that mental illness is better represented on YouTube than it is maybe in other forms of social media, because there are so many of us. And I feel like because of that, a lot of us also go through these times where like everything is too much and we have to take a break. And that's basically what happened to me. I hate talking about it, only not because I'm ashamed or anything, but only because I feel like it makes me sound like I only care about like the numbers, which isn't the case. But like I've been talking for a little bit. I'm sure you've seen other YouTubers talking about how YouTube is doing this thing right now where it's just like randomly unsubscribing people, and the videos that we make aren't going into some people's subscription boxes and stuff like that. And I was starting to feel really defeated. And not because it's always about the numbers and everything, but because I really do use my analytics and stuff to know if I'm putting out content that you guys want to see. So, like, last month I lost 50 subscribers, which was like 3% of how many I have, which is huge. And I started to feel like, because I have depression and anxiety and an anxiety disorder, that I start to feel like, what if it's not that, like, what if the glitch isn't affecting me and you guys just hate what I'm putting out and you don't like me and all this stuff? And it started to really get to me. And I thought for a while, like, well, maybe I will just focus on like Instagram and do little videos on there and stuff for a while, just until YouTube gets its shit together, you know, because like it felt really defeating. I felt like every time I uploaded a video I was losing subscribers, but then if I didn't upload I was going to lose subscribers because I wasn't publishing anything. So it was like damned if I do, damned if I don't, and it started to get really overwhelming to me. And like I really want to put out stuff that you guys want to see, but it's really hard to judge if I'm doing that if the analytics are fucked. So I just, like, it got to be really overwhelming. And then I had other stuff going on with work and my personal life and the holidays, which are a really hard time for me. And I just, like, this is the one thing that I can drop. This isn't my job. and I can step away from this when I need to. And I've talked about that before, where like this is the one thing in my life that isn't a necessity. I don't do this as a job, thankfully, in some ways, because I wouldn't want to have to try to survive on income like this. But in the same breath, like, I was starting to feel like, well, maybe I don't want to do this anymore. Like, is it even worth it for me to upload videos anymore? Because the cost benefit is high. Like, it costs a lot. There is a lot of overhead when it comes to making these videos. And, if I am losing subscribers, that means I'm not making money. And is it still worth it for me to do this anymore? If I, and not that it's all about the money or whatever, but like to continue to put out the costs of doing this with no return is a large pill to swallow for me, and it's not feasible. It's not sustainable. It's not, it's not any of those things. I can't keep doing this if I'm not going to at least recoup the costs of production. I don't care if I'm making money. I just want to not be losing money. And so for a long time a long time, it's been like 3 weeks or something. But even before I wasn't posting, I was starting to wonder, like, as I was really looking into how many subscribers I was losing and all that, like, is this even worth it for me to do anymore? Do you guys even like me? Like, what is going on? So I was feeling that way, basically, and I didn't know what to do. And the holidays are tough for me for a lot of reasons, and I often get really depressed around the holidays. I don't like them. Like, I try to like them for my son because he's 6 and he loves it. He loves being around family and stuff, but I don't. I really don't. And it's not because I hate my family or whatever, but a lot of us really don't have a ton in common, and so I feel very much like an outsider in my own family all the time for a lot of reasons, and it's hard for me to be around that, like to force myself to do that. I already have a lot of social anxiety, so it's hard for me to go into something knowing I'm going to be super uncomfortable the whole time and feel like I don't belong. And yeah, so then that was happening. And then I know that I talked about it a lot on my other social media, but I was supposed to go to Aruba this week. And I asked my dad, because I was going with my dad and his family with my son, and I asked him, like, when we were talking about me getting a passport, because I didn't have one, and I was like, does James need one? And he was like, oh no, he just needs his birth certificate because he's underage. And I don't travel a lot, especially as an adult, but as a kid when I did, it was the same kind of thing where he took us to a lot of places when I was underage, and I only needed a birth certificate. I didn't need a passport until I was 16, I think, or 17. And so I didn't think anything of it when he said that. And you can probably see where the story is going, but, we got to the airport. It's 3 a.m. because our flight left at like 5, and we couldn't get on the plane because he didn't have a passport, and I was devastated. And, like, honestly, it was a really not okay place for me to be for a long time, and, I didn't know what to do, and, like, my son is amazing. He's great, and he's not one of those kids that, like, is an asshole, and, like, he didn't understand, though. He, kept asking if we were going to go to Aruba tomorrow, and, he asked to go see my dad, and my stepmom, and my brother and sister at one point, and I had to tell him, like, babe, they're in Aruba, we can't go see him. And he was, like, devastated that they had gone without us. And he told me that he was disappointed in me on the way home, and I, like, lost my mind crying because, like, he didn't understand, and he wasn't trying to be mean, but it was still just, like, this huge blow because he was so excited. I was so excited. I needed that vacation. Like, I needed to be away from just the stuff that I had been dealing with before, and you know, I needed that. And to lose it, I had felt like I had been holding out so hard for that, and then to lose it was a really big blow. And like, I'm at the end of that now. They came back yesterday night, so it's been a week since that happened. But I needed that. I ended up deactivating my Facebook. Like, I just needed to not be around people, to not talk about it, because I felt so stupid. I felt so stupid, and I felt like I had just wasted their money. I felt like just the worst, you know, like I felt like I had let my son down. I let my parents down. Like, I felt terrible. And it was really hard for me to like deal with. I cried more than I think I've cried, in a year. Like, it's been really hard, and I'm not gonna cry now about it if I can hold it together, but it's been really tough, and I feel like I've tried to do a lot of things for my son over this last week because he's been off school for holiday break and all that, so I had all this time to fill. And like, I told my dad, because I work with my dad, and I told him, like, at the airport when we were leaving, I'm like, I'm not going to work this week, sorry. And partially I couldn't because, you know, I didn't have anybody to watch my son, and it's a whole week. I can't really bring him to work for a whole week. But also, I didn't want to talk to anybody about it. I didn't want everybody to come up to, oh my gosh, you know, I can't believe this happened, blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't want anybody to do that. And I am dreading going back to work on Monday because I don't want to have to deal with that. I don't do well with things like that. Like, I don't like the attention. I don't like I don't know. I don't like any of that stuff. So I'm really dreading having to do that. But, yeah, basically, that's really what has been happening with me lately. And it's been tough. And it's been just one of those things that, like, I needed to just not do this. And I didn't put makeup on for like a week, which, if you know me, is like unheard of, because I put like a full face of makeup on just to sit around the house because I like doing it. It's something that I enjoy, and I didn't want to do it. Like, I didn't want to do any of the things that I liked doing. And I got to a point, because usually, like, I've been dealing with my anxiety disorder for a long time. I have avoidant personality disorder, and it's an anxiety disorder. And I also have a bachelor's in psychology, so I find myself in this situation where I feel like I can handle it myself, you know? And I got to a point about a month ago where I realized I couldn't. And I have since made an appointment to get some outside help, because like, I couldn't keep doing that to myself, and it's not a good idea. It's not smart. And I know that, and I knew that before, but I like to lie to myself and think that I can just handle things when I know I can't. So it's part of the disorder. I avoid getting help, but I am, and I think that it's a lie that a lot of disorders, a lot of anxiety and depression disorders tell you, that you either don't deserve to get help or you don't need it, it's not that bad, other people have it worse, you know, all those kinds of things, and it's a lie. I think everybody deserves to feel great about themselves and their lives, and to feel like they can face each day without, you know, being debilitated by their anxiety and stuff like that. So, you know, I know that in my head, and I advocate for that. Like, I wanted to be a cognitive behavioral therapist. I wanted to help people in the way that I need help, you know? And like, so I know deep down that like what I was doing and how I was handling it wasn't okay, but I lied to myself about how bad it was and all that. And, you know, the last year for me has been just a series of awful things. So, you know, I don't talk about that. I don't talk about that stuff on social media as much as I can, because, like, I don't know, I'm a private person to a point, and again, with the anxiety, like, it makes me feel weird and uncomfortable to talk about things to people I don't know and open myself up for that judgment, because it's there and I know I'm going to get it. But I also know that there are a lot of people who are in the same situation as me. Again, going back to, I think people watch YouTube and make YouTube channels, a lot of people, for the same kinds of reasons. So, like, I know I'm not alone, but it makes you feel like you are. And, you know, I don't know. I think also everybody who makes these kind of videos that is like, I've been gone because I've been depressed or dealing with anxiety or whatever, like, everybody says they want to make sure that, like, people know that you're not alone if you're going through the same things. And, like, I can watch all those people and be like, I get it, I know, but you still feel alone, and you still feel like you're the only person who feels like that, and you're the only person going through things, and you know that you're gonna get all these people who say, like, that there are worse things in the world, and all that, and to an extent, like, you understand that, and you know that in your head, because you're a person who isn't crazy, so, well, to an extent, but you're a person who understands that, like, there are people dying and there are people in much worse situations than you, but you also know as a person that, like, people have their own thresholds. Like, everybody's stuff is everybody's stuff, and you wouldn't know how you would deal with it unless you were that person. And, you know, because even I've watched some people's videos about stuff, and the things that they say, I'm like, really? You know? And I know better. And I think part of that is it's, like, such a competition thing to, like, who has it worse, and, like, who's allowed to take time because they do or don't have it worse. And because, like, social media is a new job, and again, it's not my job. I don't do this as a job, but the ones who do, the idea that people can, like, make their own schedules and stuff really rubs a lot of people the wrong way, and people feel really entitled to having access to creators on a regular interval, no excuses, whatever, just because they maybe don't have the freedom to not show up to their job for 3 weeks. So I don't know, it gets to be a really touchy thing, and people get really upset about it a lot, but, you know, it's just, I'm sure I was going somewhere when I started saying that, but I lost it. But I never want to feel like I can't step away if I need to, because my mental health and all that is much more important, and not that you guys aren't important and everything, and I shouldn't even have to put this disclaimer there, but, like, I'm a mom, and my kid and how I am a person around my kid takes precedent over everything. If I can't be a good mom because, like, my head is not in a good place, like, that is more important to me than whether or not I'm putting out 2 videos a week. And again, you know, this is the thing that I can step away from. I can't step away from being a mom. I can't step away from my job. You know, I can't step away from those things. This I can. And so, you know, I think, my goodness, I think up until this point, there's only been a couple weeks where I've maybe only posted 1 video a week or whatever, but I've been pretty good about being on a schedule and all that. I'm not concerned that I'm not going to be able to keep up with my schedule. I am getting help, which I do encourage everyone who feels a similar way that I did do, forever will, to do so as well, because you're worth it. Even if you don't have insurance, there are things that you can do. There are apps that you can download. There are places, which I'll link some of my favorites below, of people that you can talk to for free, because sometimes you just need to talk about it. Obviously, there are things that require more help than just talking, and I know it's a lot. And it's a lot when you feel like you don't deserve it. It's a lot when you feel like it's too much. When everything is too much, then trying to figure out how to get help when you don't have insurance or whatever is daunting, and I understand that. But I do encourage you to try, because like, it is worth it. Nobody should go through their life feeling like I was, and like you do if you have these kinds of problems as well. It's not a life. That's not a life, and you deserve a real life. But anyways, yes, I do think that from here on out, like, will be okay with following my schedule. I shouldn't have to take time off again. Not only because I am going to be in the process of, getting help and doing all those things, but because, like, taking this time off was what I needed. I really needed to just have one responsibility that I could let go of. And, even I didn't go to work for this week. So, like, just having that time, like, I cleaned parts of my house and, like, did all these things that had been piling up and piling up and piling up and making me feel worse and worse and worse, because I wasn't doing them. So having the opportunity to do those things and to rest and to, like, zone out and do all those things has really helped as well. I think there was just too much, especially with the holidays, like, it's too much. So, but anyways, I know that was a long and weird thing to talk about, but how are you guys doing? It's been a while. I'm not on Facebook, so I'm not on as many social media platforms as I was. I haven't been active really on Snapchat either because, again, I really didn't want to talk to anybody, but I do want to talk now. I would love to know how you guys' holidays were. I know that for a lot of people it's not a great time of year. I'm not the only one who doesn't have an awesome holiday season. But if you do, I still want to hear about it. Like, I find that, like, I'm not one of those people most of the time, unless, like, things are really bad, that, like, can't still feel joy for other people. I'm not too much of a Scrooge. I'm a little bit of a Scrooge, but not too much. So if you guys had a great holiday, I do want to hear about it. I hope you did, because that would be great. I don't wish a bad holiday season on anybody. Also, right before we were supposed to leave, both my son and I were in urgent care. We both had ear infections, and we were both sick. So I'm getting over that now. Not a really long round of antibiotics, but it should be okay. Did you guys get any cool stuff for the holidays? I didn't really. I got a lot of gift cards, so I bought myself things. But I told my stepmom, like, and she's really one of the only people that I get stuff from, but I told my stepmom, like, since they were taking us to Aruba, that could be our present, and I would be totally fine with that. So she got me a couple little things. She got me a gift card and some Harry Potter mugs and a shirt, but, like, it wasn't usually, it wasn't what she usually does, because I told her, like, the cost of the trip or whatever is more than enough. But I did get some things with my gift cards. My little sister also got me a Sephora gift card. My little brother got me a book, which is what we generally do. Like, we always get each other books because, like, that's just kind of who we are as people. And we usually end up liking the books that the other one gives us, so I got him a bunch of books as well. Because I did also get a gift card to Ulta from a friend. So I got the new UFO oil, and I've actually really been liking it. I don't know how I feel about that. Like, part of me feels like I'm selling out, but I do really like it. I have noticed a difference in the texture of my skin, and I was a little bit concerned because I don't normally go for salicylic acid treatments. My skin doesn't usually benefit from those very well, but I kind of bought it thinking, like, it's fine because I'll just return it if I don't like it, but now I kind of like it, and I'm a little bit afraid. Oh, another thing I did. So, for the trip, if you follow me on Snapchat, you'll probably have seen, and on Instagram, I got lash extensions put on, and I didn't like them. I think, like, they felt really, like, I'm a person who rubs my eyes a lot, so, like, mostly they're just not for me. But they felt like they hurt when I would rub my eyes, like, and I would rub them gently. Obviously, I wasn't, like, going in, but, like, even if I was trying to, because I felt like, let me finish the sentence, but, like, when I would wash my face, it was like the lashes would catch all the water and it would just run straight into my eyes, which is like the opposite of what your eyelashes are supposed to do. They're actually there to keep things out of your eyes. But so then I would try to like rub the water up the lashes so that it didn't do that, and it would like hurt. I don't know. It was just, I don't know. So I took them off. But yeah, I don't know. So if you guys were wondering what I felt about that or where they went, because it's only been a week and I don't have them anymore, it's because, like, she did a great job. They looked great. They, were good quality. It wasn't anything like that they hurt because she had done a bad job or whatever, anything like that. Like, she was great. But for me, like, they just don't fit in my life, and I would love to get a lash lift, and I think that would suit me 1,000 times better than lash extensions, because I just cannot be bothered to have things that, like, I have to work around all the time. It was a poorly thought out decision on my part, but I thought it would be great. Do you guys have any New Year's resolutions? I'm not a resolution person. I think generally those fail. But I've always, not always, but I bring my lunch 99% of the time to work, and I really want to do better. So I decided I'm going to, like, make lunches, because I was just like buying pre-made things to bring and stuff, and I want to make better lunches for myself, because, like, that's something I'd like to get under control this year, is like the way I eat. So I figured that lunch was the easiest way that I could transition into doing that, because I was already used to bringing it. It wouldn't be that big of a thing for me, and it's something that I could easily meal prep, like, on the weekends and have ready for the week without, like, it being a huge thing, like dinners and stuff, all that. Like, that would be really overwhelming for me. I'm not a good meal prepper. I thought lunch would be a good place to implement that. So that's really it. I don't have, like, I'm gonna lose weight or whatever, which would be great, but I'm not gonna do that to myself, because, like, that I will fail. So just really trying to, like, take better care of myself when it comes to what I'm putting in my body, and starting out slow with just, like, what I make for lunch, and then, if I can easily implement it, I don't think that losing weight is the be-all end-all point of my existence, but I would like to at least make healthier choices in a way that's sustainable for me. I'm never gonna be that person who's, like, basing their food choices off of unsubstantiated crap and thinking that I have to cut out whole food groups and stuff to be healthy. I think that's stupid. I think I tried for so long to do things that were really extreme in order to try to lose weight or whatever, and that doesn't work. So I just really want to find balance in my life when it comes to, like, everything. And that's a lot to ask for a January goal set. So, I'm just going to implement what I can when I can, because small steps are better than no steps. There's nothing that will make you feel worse than setting a goal, and not being able to stick with it because it was maybe too fast or too much at once. And then that makes you feel like you can't achieve your goals because you didn't achieve that goal or whatever. So moderation is a really awesome thing, and like I said, small steps are better than no steps, and doing little things, like, yeah, it may be not getting you to your goal super fast, but it's still better than starting hot and heavy and then quitting and not doing anything, or doing worse than you were before because you feel like shit. So yeah, that's my little spiel for the day. If you have a goal and you can find small steps to start to implement that instead of, like, one big one or whatever, I encourage you to try that. So, like I said, I'm going to see Hidden Figures, I think, tonight. I would encourage all of you guys to go see it if you haven't yet. If you have, did you like it? But I think it's so important to go see stories that are about not white people. And I know I'll probably get a lot of hate for saying that, but like, to see a story that is told by the minority it's supposed to be told by and not whitewashed. And something so important as that, you know, as that story is, I think it's a great thing. And I'm excited to support it. Because then I hope that the more support it gets, the more that Hollywood will realize that, like, it is profitable to tell stories of people of color, with people of color, and by people of color, and all that. So I'm excited to see it. I think it's going to be great. Okay, my lash glue is not dry yet, but when it is, I'll probably pack a little bit of eyeshadow over it to hide it a little bit. I am going to just kind of straighten my hair and then roll right into filming my next list of favorites. And I'm probably going to end up putting this video up on the same day as my next round of favorites, especially if I can get at least this totally edited before the end of the weekend. It's Saturday today. But yeah, so again, you know, I don't want you guys to think that you guys aren't important and that you didn't deserve a explanation for why I wasn't here. Maybe you guys didn't miss me. Maybe you did, but whatever. That's neither here nor there. But yeah, so, you know, hopefully things will get back to normal now and we'll keep on trucking. I do want to get those last couple videos out for my favorites, and then I'm going to start up with my regular kinds of videos that I normally did. So yeah, I hope you guys are having a great day wherever you're at. I hope you had a great holiday season, whatever you celebrate or don't. I hope you know, you guys are finding yourselves. I know it's hard if you are in the northern hemisphere right now, being in winter and all that seasonal affective disorder and stuff. I know a lot of people, it really gets to you. So I hope that you guys are taking care of yourselves and you know, whatever that looks like to you. So hit subscribe if you haven't already, if you like my videos, and just to make sure that you're still subscribed. But other than that, I will see you guys in my next video, which will be in just a few minutes. So bye everyone.